You are listening to Boxagon Sports with Abraham Storns Jr., broadcasting the very best in boxing, MMA, and wrestling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the UFC returning next Saturday. UFC 249 will take place. It was scheduled to take place on April 21st, and it got rescheduled due to the COVID-19 pandemic going on. So this is my first show in a while, guys. I'm glad to be back doing videos again. There's not have been too much sport news as of lately because everything's pretty much canceled, but we still got some combat sports going on. So I'm very excited about this UFC 249 card coming up. Dana White has loaded up the card with a bunch of very exciting fights. It's hard for me to pick and choose which one will be fight of the night because all of these can actually be a fight of the night candidate. But if I had to choose just one, that'll be probably a very hard choice to pick. So in the card, we got preliminary cards on ESPN. Dana White said that the preliminary card will be like three hours of free fights before the main card on the pay-per-view. So Dana White is giving us fights. Giving us a lot of fights for fans just to please them and give everyone a show because there's been a long period of time without professional sports, so I can't wait to see this card. So on the early preliminary card on ESPN Plus, we got Ryan Spann taking on Sam Alvey. We got Bryce Mitchell taking on Charles Rosa at featherweight, and also at welterweight we got Vincente Luque, who is a very exciting fighter going up against Nico Price. So that card right there on ESPN Plus will be very interesting to watch. And next we got the other preliminary card that'll be live on ESPN. We got Uriah Hall taking on Jacare Souza, and we got a women's strawweight fight between Michelle Waterson and Carla Esparza. We also got a heavyweight fight between Alexei Olenek taking on Fabricio Verdum, former champion. He defeated Cain Velasquez before. Verdum is a very great fighter, and I'm pretty sure him and Olenek is going to put on the show. And also the main fight on the preliminary card on ESPN, we have Donald the Cowboy Cerrone. This is going to be his first fight since losing to Conor McGregor back in January. He's going to take on Anthony Showtime Pettis. I think these two have fought before in the past. Pettis and Cerrone are both coming off of defeats, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be possibly a fight of the night candidate between Cerrone and Pettis. If I have to pick a winner between these two, I'm going to go with Cowboy Cerrone knocking out Anthony Pettis. It's going to be a slugfest. Just mark my words, guys. This is going to be a very good fight. And also we have the main card. We have former NFL player Greg Hardy. Used to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to be taking on undefeated Yorgan De Castro. Greg Hardy is a heavyweight. He says if he wins this fight, he wants to fight some of the big names out there. He said he wants to fight Francis Ngannou. He wants to fight current UFC heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic. And he also even says he wants to fight John Jones someday too. So Greg Hardy, I will say this, even though he's coming from a different sport, he has done exceptionally well in the UFC. So Greg Hardy, has a lot of courage to call out those big guys. But even though I don't think he has a chance to beat any of them, I still respect him for getting into the octagon and still being successful at another sport, which he never played, never done professionally before up until a couple of years ago. So Greg Hardy making a name for himself now in MMA. And also on the card we have featherweight Jeremy Stephens, very exciting fighter. He's always exciting to watch. I've never seen a boring fight with Jeremy Stephens before. He'll be taking on Calvin Kattar at featherweight. Stephens and Kattar would be a very great fight. I'm going to possibly go with Kattar to beat Stephens. Stephens is very good, but there are times when he's went up against elite competition and he ended up losing. But this is going to be a good fight. I think Kattar's probably going to win by decision or possibly a late TKO. And then before the co-main event, we have Francis Ngannou taking on Rozenstruik. These guys are two hard-hitting fighters from Africa. This right here is going to be a heavyweight slugfest between these two African hard hitters. Both have phenomenal knockout power. Rozenstruik, the man had a fight against Alistair Overeem last year. He won by a very gruesome TKO, almost knocking Overeem's lip off his face. So that was a very gruesome and disturbing fight to watch. And Ngannou has won his last 3 fights by KO. Everyone knows he's the hardest hitting heavyweight in MMA right now. So it's going to be hard for me to pick a winner in this fight. And also the co-main event, this is the fight of the night possibly. if I were to put my money on a fight of a night, type of performance, it'll be this fight right here. We have current UFC champion Henry Cejudo taking on Dominic Cruz. Henry Cejudo is he's a very small guy, but he is phenomenal. Like, he has hand speed, he's fast on his feet, his footwork is just phenomenal. He beat Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson in a rematch. That fight was a very great fight. He ended up dethroning Mighty Mouse, giving him his first loss after having a long winning streak before Mighty Mouse left the UFC. And also Henry Cejudo, he also knocked out TJ Dillashaw as well, which was kind of shocking. I thought Dillashaw was going to beat Cejudo that night, but he didn't. Cejudo was actually going to be taking on Jose Aldo in June, but the fight ended up getting canceled because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm pretty sure Dana White is going to reschedule that for Fight Island in June or July, or maybe even August. So, and I'm pretty sure that fight might happen sometime over the summer or late 2020. Now, as far as Dominic Cruz, if Dominic Cruz were to upset Henry Cejudo, that would not shock me at all. Dominic Cruz is also very exciting to watch. He's a very great fighter. He's been around the game for a little bit, and so if Cruz were to win this fight, wouldn't shock me. But I'm gonna go with Henry Cejudo by unanimous decision. And also in the main event, we got Tony Ferguson taking on Justin Gaethje. This main event really was supposed to have been Tony Ferguson taking on the current UFC lightweight champion of the world, Khabib Nurmagomedov. But everyone knows the situation with that. Khabib pulled out because of travel issues and his Ramadan Muslim holiday. It lasts for like a few months. It's like a certain time where he takes time off and he fasts and pray and things like that. So he's gonna be available to like around late August. So that's what happened with that and him and Ferguson. A lot of people feel like Khabib and Ferguson is the most cursed fight in MMA history. I said in one of my previous videos in the past that I feel that Khabib and Ferguson is similar to like Mayweather and Pacquiao. It's like the same situation with Will Floyd and Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, but only difference is this is an MMA. This fight has been talked about, has been attempted to be made in the past for about 4 or 5 times, and it's never taken place. Most of the time, when that fight was canceled, it was because of Khabib. So that's a different subject. I'm going to discuss that on a different video in the near future. But as far as Justin Gaethje has had about 6 or 7 fights in the UFC, and according to UFC President Dana White, Justin Gaethje has pretty much got a fight of the night bonus almost every time he's fought in the UFC. So I'm pretty sure he gets probably like an extra $150K per fight, along with the price he's already getting for the fight. So Justin Gaethje's out there trying to make a name for himself. I feel that MMA fighters aren't getting paid that well, so I take my head off to Justin Gaethje for at least going out there and trying to get extra money, because MMA guys, some of those guys don't get paid a whole lot. Like the guys who aren't like big names in the sport, they don't get like they don't get the pay they deserve to get from all the training, all the blows, slams, strikes, all that stuff. So got a lot of respect for these MMA fighters. But Justin Gaethje and Ferguson, I think Ferguson's going to win this one by a late TKO. If Khabib and Ferguson fight is canceled, and it was actually cursed like how people say it is, then Gaethje might win this fight if the curse, still wants to hinder Khabib and Ferguson from ever taking place. So I don't want Gaethje to win this fight, with all due respect, because I want to see Khabib and Ferguson finally get in the octagon and touch gloves and finally fight. But hopefully Ferguson pulls out a W with this fight. And Dana White even said that Khabib will fight the winner of Gaethje and Ferguson after next Saturday. So I guess that'll be in August and September when Khabib will get one of these guys in the octagon. So we'll wait and see. And also I got some other very exciting news for MMA fans, that actually after next week's card, there will be 2 more other cards going into the following week. So we're pretty much going to have 3 MMA cards in 1 week. From what I heard from Ariel Helwani's show from ESPN, that Dana White will be putting on a fight card that coming Wednesday after UFC 249, and he also will be putting on another fight card on the following Saturday as well. So I'm definitely excited to see this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of sports fans will be tuning into all of these cards as well, because there are pretty much no other professional sports taking place as of right now. So this is very exciting. All right, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Let me know what you guys thought about the video. Let me know what you guys think is going to be the fight of the night on UFC 249. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Thanks for listening to Boxagon Sports with Abraham Storns Jr., broadcasting the very best in boxing, MMA, and wrestling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.